friends, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Alyssa, and today I'm going to share some of my favorite plant-based / vegan living resources. I get a lot of questions about what I read, how I kind of learned about the world of plant-based living. So I thought I would take today's video to give you some of my favorite resources. I thought that I would start today's video by giving you kind of like my journey in terms of resources and kind of how I began learning and then where that evolved to and then kind of where I am now. So the first thing that got me really interested in the world of plant-based living was food documentaries. I started watching them on this program called FMTV, which I'll tell you about in a second, and I got totally hooked. I started binge watching them, and it really got me interested in how plant-based living and plant-based foods can help you live a better and healthier and longer life. From there, I decided to start following some plant-based blogs, so bloggers who make primarily plant-based recipes or talk about plant-based nutrition. So I started learning from them, and then I started looking at cookbooks, and then finally I got to the point where I decided that I wanted to take a certification class. I decided I wanted to become a certified holistic nutritionist. I had this kind of vision that I wanted to become a health coach and do kind of private coaching. I have since decided that that is definitely not the right thing for me to do, at least right now in my life. But it kind of taught me a lot more about how the body works, how plant-based foods affect the body, why a plant-based diet is really healthy. So that was really interesting. And then from there, I kind of decided to really focus on building out some of my own plant-based programs. I'm sure as many of you know, if you've watched me for a while, I do have two signature programs, both of which are plant-based. The first is Powered by Plants, which is all about helping you transition to a plant-based diet. And then the second one is called Simply Nourished, and that is a 21 plant-based living program. So that is for people who like meal plans, recipes, shopping lists, etc. And the other one is more about like lifestyle and living rather than following a specific eating plan or something like that. So my education kind of helped me develop those programs, and I was able to understand how plant-based foods and why plant-based foods are so amazing, why they are so great for your body. I, of course, currently eat mostly plant-based. I'm not 100% vegan, but I do eat probably 95% plant-based, and I truly believe that it is one of the healthiest diets that you can follow. So I thought that I would take today's video again to share some of my favorite resources. I'll give you some individual documentaries that I love, blogs that I follow, cookbooks that I read, and just kind of give you some inspiration for learning more about a plant-based diet. So let's go ahead and dive in. Like I mentioned, the first thing that I want to talk about is documentaries. So I fell in love with watching food documentaries probably 5 years ago, before I even really considered following a plant-based diet. And the resource, or like the thing that I discovered, was called FMTV, and it's Food Matters TV. Food Matters, I'm sure you have probably heard of. They are a huge platform. They're based in Australia, and they have this amazing online program, I guess you could call it, where you pay just $10 a month and you get access to thousands of documentaries that are all about healthy living, plant-based living, yoga, meditation, and it's just an insanely amazing resource. So some of my favorite documentaries, if you do decide to sign up, if you're interested, actually, I put a link in the description box below where you can check that out and learn more. But as you're kind of browsing their catalog, I just want to kind of call out a few of my favorite documentaries that I definitely recommend you guys watch if you haven't already. So the first two are actually ones that Food Matters produced. The first is called Food Matters, and it talks a lot about our food system and just the importance of eating and fueling your body with nutritious whole plant-based foods. The second one that they created is called Hungry for a Change, and I really enjoyed that one a lot. They have a lot of expert interviews on that documentary, and it was super, super interesting. The next two that I really enjoyed were about juicing, and the first I'm sure you've heard of is called Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead. That is one where the guy eats a juice diet, I think for 60 days. He follows a just plain juice fast for 60 days, and he tracks his progress, and it is really amazing to see how much better his health is after those 60 days. The other one is called Unsupersize Me, and that one is really cool because it takes a group of like 10 to 12 people, and it takes them to this place in Spain where they follow a primarily juice-based diet, and it's all of these different people who have different medical conditions, from like taking 12 plus meds a day to all of these different medical conditions. It tracks them through a period of time, which I can't remember the exact period of time. And I was astounded at the results that these people saw. So I absolutely loved those two movies. And then the last one that I really enjoyed that I definitely recommend you guys watch is called Unsupersize Me. So I'm sure you guys have heard of Supersize Me, which is that documentary where he ate McDonald's for, I don't even remember, like 30 days. But this one is called Unsupersize Me, and it talks a lot about just like healthy food and why it's important, and it talks about people moving off of a processed food diet. So that was really, really interesting, and I really, guys, recommend that you check out Food Matters because it is an amazing resource. It's not just based for people who are following a plant-based diet, but they do have a ton of recipes, they have a ton of guided meditations, yoga classes, cleanse programs that you can do, and of course, like thousands of documentaries that you can watch, and it's only $10 a month. So it's an amazing, amazing resource. I absolutely love it. And again, I've put a link for you in the description box below if you want to check it out, but it is definitely one of the top resources that I have. The next thing that I started doing, again, like I said, was following some bloggers. So some of my favorite plant-based bloggers that I definitely recommend you guys check out. I have a few on my list, and these are mostly just based around recipes, but Cookie and Kate is a really beautiful, amazing food blog. She just came out with a cookbook, which is really amazing, also plant-based. Not vegan, but she is vegetarian. Also, Minimalist Baker, I'm sure you guys have heard of her. She is like an internet sensation, crazy on Pinterest. Her food is almost entirely plant-based. She is not 100% gluten-free, but I believe it's pretty much vegan, and she does have a vegan cookbook out as well. I also love Oh She Glows. She's been around for a really long time, and her recipes are delicious. I have 2 of her books, and they are both great. And then the last one that I absolutely love is Deliciously Ella. She is based in the UK. I'm actually going there next week, and I'm going to go to a few of her delis. I can't wait. But she is entirely vegan and eats a lot, mostly gluten-free, but not totally gluten-free. And her recipes are really good. They're really simple, really nourishing and hearty, and they use a lot of beans, starchy vegetables, whole grains. So I really recommend all of those blogs. In terms of cookbooks, like I just mentioned, a bunch of those bloggers have cookbooks. Some of the more educational type cookbooks that I like, or books that I liked, were Crazy Sexy Diet. That is by Chris Carr. Talks a lot about the benefits of following a plant-based diet, juicing, etc. So that was really interesting. And then most of the other ones, honestly, are just cookbooks. I also really like the My New Roots cookbook, Oh She Glows, Deliciously Ella. So there is a ton of information out there in terms of recipes. Of course, my site is also now primarily plant-based. I do use eggs from time to time, but I haven't used meat on my blog for probably over 5 years. So there are a ton of resources also on my blog if you want some recipe inspiration. So now let's talk about my certification. I shared about my journey in my career, I think like, I can't even remember how many months ago, but I did a whole video on it. I'll link it for you in the description box below. But a lot of you asked me about my certification, my Certified Holistic Nutritionist. And so I thought today I would share a little bit more about that. So essentially what I decided that I wanted to do was, I thought that I kind of wanted to become a health coach. After I took this whole certification, I decided that it was more that I wanted to have the background and knowledge so that I could create group programs so that I could touch more people. It's really hard to scale, and not in a business sense, but just like on a personal level. It's hard to be able to reach a lot of people if you're coaching one-on-one, because you are just the only person and you only have so many hours in the day. So I kind of decided to steer away from that. But essentially where I got my certification from was from the American Fitness Professionals Association, and I was a little bit wary of it just because of it sounded more of like a personal training type company, but they have a ton of nutrition programs. And what I really liked about it was that this certification, when you're done with it, you have the option to become a board certified holistic nutritionist. So you can apply to become a board certified holistic nutritionist with the board of, I think, natural medicine. But that was really the main driving force behind me signing up for that program. Little did I know that when I did sign up for that program, it is definitely focused on the plant-based diet. I wasn't really aware of that when I signed up. And as I was kind of going through, I had kind of wish that I was learning about other diets, but now that I'm kind of looking back on it, I really am glad that I was able to learn a ton about plant-based diets. We talked about anatomy, like how the internal systems work, your digestive system, your detoxification system, everything like that. So that was super interesting. We also talked a lot about how plant-based foods affect your body, why it's good for your health. We looked at a lot of studies showing how a plant-based diet helped people live a longer life and a healthier life. And then the last part of the program was all about helping you become a better nutrition counselor. So ultimately, this led me to decide that I wanted to create some of my own, I want to call them group coaching programs essentially. So they're my own programs. I mentioned them a little bit in the beginning, but this kind of all of this knowledge that I've learned over the last 4 or 5 years, I put that into practice with these programs that I developed. So I'm really focusing this year on just those 2 main programs. They are both the same price, so they're both $97. The first one is really designed for people who are interested in transitioning to a plant-based diet. So maybe you are currently vegetarian or you're currently almost entirely plant-based and you really want to make that last leap. This program is really going to help you. I designed it to be a little bit more kind of go at your own pace. So you don't have a strict meal plan to follow, you don't have strict recipes to follow. It's really about helping empower you to create your own meals so that you feel comfortable in the kitchen, you feel comfortable eating and cooking this way. And we talk about so many different strategies for making this an easy and long-term and maintainable solution for you. I have a ton of testimonials from people who absolutely loved the program. So that is the first program. And then the second program I just relaunched in the beginning of this year, so just this past week, and it is called Simply Nourished, and that is a 21-day meal plan and recipe shopping list program that is entirely plant-based. It's entirely gluten-free, refined sugar-free, and dairy-free. And really that program is designed to help you reset, help you kickstart weight loss, and help you kind of clean out the junk. So if you are somebody that sets some weight loss goals for 2018 or even some fitness goals, because there is an option for some workout stuff if you're interested in that, this is a really great program for you because I designed it to really flush out toxins. So all of the recipes are packed with naturally detoxifying ingredients. They're ingredients that are gonna love your digestive system, love your liver, and it's filled with tons and tons of fresh fruits and veggies, lots and lots of greens, and it's so awesome. I love this program, and we had a bunch of people sign up in the beginning of the year. So if you're interested in either of those programs, I will put them in the description box below for you, but they are my 2 signature programs. I love having these programs that I can share with people. It really gives me that opportunity to teach you guys on a more individualized level, and I'm able to do it in a way that is a little bit more scalable rather than meeting with people one-on-one, so that I can help as many people as possible. So if you're interested in either of those, you can check them out below. But essentially, these are the plant-based resources that I have for you. I know that this video was a little bit long-winded. I feel like I'm talking really fast because I'm trying to jam everything in. But essentially, to just kind of give you a replay of everything, documentaries are a great way to learn more. Following other bloggers is a great way to learn more. Reading books and cookbooks, and then exploring the world of getting potentially a certification. And if you don't want to get a full certification, I will also link the individual books that we read in the description box below for you, so you can check those out on Amazon, and you could potentially just pick and choose if you want to learn individual stuff. You don't have to pay for the entire certification. So I hope you guys found this video helpful. I'm really looking forward to hearing what resources you end up trying. Definitely recommend that you guys check out Food Matters. If you're interested in any of the programs that I talked about, those links are in the description box below as well. So basically, everything that I talked about is down below. You can check out all of those links. I definitely like doing these kind of sit-down videos, so definitely expect more of those as the year goes on. If you guys have topic requests, let me know. I'll make sure to add them to my list. Otherwise, I hope you have an awesome rest of your day, and I will see you next week. Bye, guys!